This is a short lecture on the economy. The Hacienda will continue to play an important role despite the new role of silver. The silver is discovered in the late 1500s, second half of the 1500s, and it begins fully develop into the 1600s, and it's an important, hugely important element in the new economy. New Spain will become very, very important for the crown. And Spain will take the silver and conduct imperial wars in Europe. But silver has its own problems. It requires a big investment by way of equipment, laborers, the refining of the silver ore, requires mercury, and the colony is dependent on whether or not the mother country, the metropolis that is Spain, provides this. And many a silver mine failed, didn't live up to its promises. Silver provides not only the new imperial wars, but it also provides New Spain the possibility of buying imported goods from Europe as well as from China via the Philippines, Spanish possession. These two ports, Veracruz and Acapulco, become very important, and this is where the international merchants gather, and they then take the product inland to Mexico City or to Puebla. The commercial world is very profitable, but risky, dependent on the importation of this imported goods. There's a vibrant local economy that is very good as well. Another big factor in the economy are factories, textile factories. They operate like a city within a city. They operate like an hacienda, striving to keep the laborers connected to this very labor-intensive enterprise. The factories lack technology, so it's very labor-intensive work, but very profitable, and they provide the clothing for the colony. Very important as the population grows. More people need to wear clothes, and there's silver circulating, and so the obrajes, they provide, like the mines, an opportunity for wage earning to take place vis-a-vis the hacienda. Now, silver and textiles are hugely important, but the hacienda remains the best long-term investment. So mine owners, merchants, officials, everybody invests in an hacienda. It has its ups and downs, the boom periods and so on, but overall it has a steady it's a steady enterprise and competes with other haciendas, of course, and it has its own relationship to the labor force. There's, as we mentioned before, there are means to keep the workers on the haciendas, but there's dead peonage that we talked about. There's some sort of coercion and force involved in this, but it's not quite a slavery system. The hacienda workers do have other options. They can return to the Indian town. They can go to the city, depending on the initiative and acculturation of individual workers. The hacienda, however, offers security, food and clothing, care in old age. There would a variety of jobs around the hacienda for in this large estate, multiple enterprises for the old to carry out some kind of work as they age. The hacienda depends, of course, on taking Indian lands, and as the colony becomes more profitable, there's a movement to expand the hacienda, and it gets into conflict with Indian towns, and opposition from the officials and from the church, who are concerned about the extent of the hacienda's power, the extent of its coercion, exploitation of Indian labor on the part of the church. Then the Crown and the church are competitors for Indian labor and for lands. In the north, the hacienda takes a different turn. There are no Indian towns, so they become huge. And they're also cattle grazing haciendas, mainly in the north, and they require larger expanse. And so some of the hacendados are basically little kingdoms in the north. The hacienda and its production of various goods and its expansion during the so-called century of depression indicates that New Spain did not suffer as first thought. The hacienda, in fact, prospers. New Spain prospers. The depression is that the fall in silver production affects the metropolis, the mother country, the colonizer, more than it did the colony. Their continued city building, expansion of cities and churches, government offices, the arts, and so on, all indicate a quite prosperous century. The hacienda was able to handle this, becoming more self-sufficient, urban consumers, buy fewer of the more expensive imported goods. There's population growth. There's the expansion of the colonial factories, and it's not like mining stopped altogether. There was a shortage of mercury. The Crown was sending most of the mercury to Peru, but the mines in New Spain adjusted with other methodologies and continued producing enough silver to circulate and to motivate and to push the economy forward. As you can see, the hacienda is the least profitable, but it's the most secure. Public offices and, of course, silver and long-distance trades are very, very profitable. But these folks in mining and merchandising and in the obrajes or the factories, they put their money into haciendas because ultimately it's the secure investment. Here's how the silver production is divided up. 1/5, the quinto, the royal fifth, goes to the Crown and fuels those wars. Enough circulates in New Spain to buy imported goods, and then enough circulates to buy and expand the domestic market in a variety of other ways. Thank you very much for your attention.